Hello, this is Cedric West. I'm the owner of CS West and Associates PA. I am a certified public accountant as well as a QuickBooks Online Pro Advisor, and I offer QuickBooks solutions and business consulting to small businesses all across the United States. So let's go ahead and get started. And today I'm going to show you how to add vendors and customers as well as on how to import them as well if you have a huge list of customers that you need to import. So start off here, but let me start from the beginning. Essentially, you're always going to start from the dashboard. So what you would do to add in your customers, you select sales, you select where it says customers. Now, if you have one customer that you need to enter, just go ahead and select where it says new customer here to your right hand side, the nice green button here. You're gonna place the company name if it's a company, for example, ABC LLC. Okay, that's the name of the company. Gonna put in the name X, middle name Y, last name Z. And then this shows you how you want the name to be displayed as. So you could have it displayed as the company name, the first, middle, last name, first and last name, or last name first and then first name. So you have different options on how you want your customers to be displayed. And then this right here, this button is how you want them to be displayed on the check. If you are printing checks to your customers, you can select this box, you display name. If not, you could customize this if you want to, but I just normally keep it the same for consistency reasons. So then the next thing you would do, you would add in the billing address, the street, city, town, state, zip code, and country. Now, if they have a shipping address, of course, if it's the same as the billing address, go ahead and keep this box selected. If not, you can unselect this box and add in the shipping address if you are shipping, if they have a different address for shipping. In addition to that, you can input separate emails. So make sure as you put in the email, for example, you put in their email, but if they have an alternate email, just put a comma and then put in their alternate email. Of course, enter in their phone, mobile, fax, other information that you may have, and then you can put a website here. Now, the thing is, if they are a sub customer, you can select this box here. And you can say, I have a new customer. For example, my client, they have two businesses. And so this is just an extension of their other business. And so I could say they are a sub or they're a subsidiary of Amy Burrs. Just say Amy, she's a subsidiary or she's a sub customer of Amy Burrs. She may have like a spin-off business or something like that in which you want to keep it the same. And so you do have the option to bill with the parent or bill this customer only. So and that's if you have that unique situation. Now, 9 times out of 10, you may not have that situation, but if you do, you do have that option. Any notes, you can select any notes here. You want to add in any notes, you can add in any notes for the customer, add in the tax information. So you do want to note, let's say if it's a nonprofit, I say it's a nonprofit, so I'll put in the exemption details, and I would say no, this customer is not taxable, or if they are taxable, you will enter the tax code. For example, you see I have California and I have Tuscan, so I have those two percentages. Then next, I will move to payment and billing. This is to set them up already if you want how you want them to be paid or what's their preferred method, payment method. So if it's American Express. Now this is if you and this is great as well if you do like a credit card authorization or ACH authorization form. You could select here to enter in the credit card details and information, the name on the card, the expiration dates and address, things of that nature. And then once you select OK, Then it's going to ask you, do you want to save those credentials? And then you will have the option to save that as credentials. And so the preferred payment or delivery method, do you want to print it now, send later, or none? Normally, I would just do print later. That's how I normally set it up. And then what are your terms going to be with this particular customer or client? Is it due upon receipt or cash on delivery? Net 10, net 15, net 30, net 60? You have those different options. And if they are, or if they have an opening balance, this is if you're transferring the balance from another system onto here. So as of 7/27, or if they have a balance, prior balance already with you, which you have not entered the information into QuickBooks, you could put this in here to say as of 7/27/18, they have an opening balance of $100. If not, then you can just leave this as 0. So once you're done, you would just select save, and there you go. You have your new customer, you have the email, you have the phone, you have the company name, you have the address, and then here are the notes that you have entered as well. And you can see the different transactions that you have with that particular customer. And here's the customer details. Always make sure to try to fill this out as much as possible, because I run into a lot of situations where clients, they may put in their name, or they may put in their well, of course they put in their name, but they may put in their email, but sometimes the phone number is missing, the website or notes or any other attachments that they want to attach for the customer. Sometimes addresses are not entering correctly. So it's just always good to have a complete set of data for your customers or clients. Now, if you have multiple clients and you don't want to go through this process, and you have them on a spreadsheet already, you go back to sales and you select customers, and you select this down arrow that says import customers. So you're going to select this option to import customers. So they do have a sample file, which it gives you the different headings on how you should categorize and label each customer. So you could download that sample file. You could transfer your data and put that into that sample file. So once you're done, you just browse. So I go to the customer sample, select open. So down here at the bottom, I'll select nets. So essentially, these are all the fields that's on the Excel file that you have downloaded, that sample file. You'll see you have the name, the company, email, phone, mobile, fax, website, street, city, state, zip code, country. They have an opening balance, not the opening balance date, the tax resale number. Sometimes they may not be applicable. Then you have the customer type as well. So once you do that, you just map in the data. For the most part, if you do it correctly, as you can see, this is the QuickBooks Online field right here. And then this is your field, meaning that this is the field that you have stated in your particular spreadsheet. I personally, I like to download the sample file that QuickBooks have already. I just match my data to there. So when I get here, there's no trying to figure out QuickBooks name goes to my unique name and things of that nature. I just keep it the same, so it's easier for me. So when you see these check boxes here, that means that you're good to go. I will select Nets. And then this gives you an option here just to do a last minute check to make sure everything is correct. You have the name, you have the company, you have the email, phone number, mobile, all the data that was in your spreadsheet. Just gives you a second look for you to make sure things are correct. Now you see that this import button here is grayed out, and that because if you look down here at the bottom, and this comes from the sample file, there's no other information that's included in here. So you won't be able to move forward unless you fix those issues, and you can see where it says 10 customers are ready to be imported. So only thing I need to do, if it's something that's preventing you from this import button to be highlighted, just uncheck it. In that case, it was able to highlight. I go import. Now, the reason it gave me this error because I have already imported this before. And so what it's going to say is that these are duplicates. So as of now, if you have updated customers' information like a mass update and you want to do it by bulk, unfortunately, as of right now, you won't be able to make changes or make those updates, even if it's for the same customer. So, because what I have done, I have imported these customers in already, but it's giving me this error here that 0 of 9 customers are successfully imported. And so, because they're saying that they are duplicates, and so they want you um, to change the highlighted fields. And so, right as of right now, if you want to do updates to your customers, Um, for example, if they have new emails or they change company name, new phone numbers, and you do it as a mass update, you won't be able to do that as of right now. You have to go in and do it one by one. Um, so that's the only sticker about this part when it comes to updating customers' information. So let's go ahead and exit this out. Yes, I want to leave without saving. So there you go. That's how you enter in the customers. That's how you enter the new customers, and then I have shown you how to import the customers as well. Now let's go to the vendors. So what you would do, you go to expenses, and you would select vendors. It's pretty much the same process of creating a new customer or a client or importing them, but it just had different information that you have with the vendor versus the customer. You notice here, basically it's the same thing, company names, you want to display the name as, you have the address, you have the email, phone number, website, billing rate, if they charging you $150 an hour, $200 an hour, $20 an hour, if they have their billing rate, and if you know that, you can enter that in so that you have that those details. What are their terms? So this is all the information they should provide you with as far as the vendors. So what is the opening balance? If you do have an opening balance, or what's your account number, the business ID, and you're going to select this if they're a contractor and you want to track the payments for 1099 purposes. So you will select that box and you make sure that you get their EIN number as well. And any of the attachments too, I normally do this for contracts, long-term contracts that I normally do and enter this information in. So, excuse me. Once you enter in all the information, you just click save. In the same process, if I have mass or if I have a bulk of vendors that I want to add into, instead of doing it by one, I can just select import, and it's the exact same process. Now the files are a tad bit different because they have different information, but for the most part, they're essentially the same. Make sure it's just best practice that whatever fields that you have here match up to the QuickBooks Online fields, because it's going to read, for example, if I say the name, the first and last name should be labeled company, it's going to read that. So it's very important that instead of you selecting nets, you make sure that the fields, your fields matches the fields for QuickBooks. Make sure that they coincide. So you select nets. Again, you have this last minute chance to make any updates here. So you can tell that there's 10 that are ready to be imported. So once you determine that all of the information is correct, you select import. Again, the reason why I'm getting this error is because I have already imported these vendors in before. So just giving me that error because they are duplicates. In your situation, if they're not a duplicate, what happened is it's going to say success or it's going to say congratulations. And it's going to tell you the number of vendors or customers that have been successfully imported. So once you're done, and it's going to select save, you just exit out of the screen, and then you will be able to see all of the vendors that you have imported or enter in one by one. So that's all that I have for this. I have shown you how to add customers and vendors one by one and also in bulk. So if you have any questions or any concerns, please feel free to contact me. You will see my email and my phone number and my other contact information in the description below. So I thank you for taking this time out to watch. Hope to see you soon.